Welcome back to today's economic news. I'm John, and today we're diving into a story that perfectly encapsulates the troubling intersection of politics, foreign influence, and questionable financial ties. The headline: Swalwell campaign urged to return cash from law firm tied to CCP. Now, before you roll your eyes and shrug it off as another political scandal, let me paint a picture of why this should leave every citizen in this country with a sense of unease and outrage. We are talking about potential financial influences on our elected officials by foreign adversaries that could undermine our national security and, more importantly, your money and trust. Before we look at today's disaster, remember back in 2020 when they said everything was just fine? That was right before the U.S. congressional hearing set the stage for our current tense relationship with China, specifically criticizing their tech companies for espionage and intellectual property theft. Fast forward to the implementation of the Foreign Investment Risk Review Modernization Act, FIRMA, in 2018, which was supposed to protect us from foreign influence, particularly from China. It sought to close the loopholes that allowed adversaries to acquire assets critical to national security. Yet here we are, years later, discussing a donation from a law firm with ties to the Chinese Communist Party to a sitting congressman, Eric Swalwell, a man already shadowed by controversy over prior interactions with a suspected Chinese operative. Does this sound like strategy or a glaring oversight? Let's dig into the hard data. Swalwell's campaign received a whopping $9,999 from Diheng law offices and an additional $5,000 from Kilian Clay Ju. That's over $10,000 into the coffers of his house campaigns. Now translate that. Picture 200 people being taxed $50 out of their pocket to put into the bank account of a lawmaker who was supposed to protect your interests. And what are those interests getting? Ties to Ju, whose investments are valued at $100 million in a data analytics company and a total of $9 billion across AI and biopharmaceuticals. Are these investments serving you? It appears the only thing getting served here are interests with potentially compromising links to a foreign regime. Now, some argue that this is all political theatrics, that Swalwell is merely a victim of politically motivated attacks. Critics love to say he's being unfairly targeted, but you have to ask, at what point do we stop excusing repeated patterns? Do they think we are stupid? If these ties mean nothing, why not return the money and clear the air? Moving on to a libertarian perspective, it's painfully clear. The financial ties between politicians and foreign entities like the CCP are not just numbers on a spreadsheet. They're a symbol of corruption, of theft from the American taxpayer. As inflation rises, who ends up paying the cost? You do. The politicians' ineptitude, and let's call it what it is, incompetence, shuffles wealth out of your wallet and devalues domestic investments. And when politicians allow such engagements, what they're really doing is selling your liberty to the highest bidder. Government's first duty is supposed to be protecting its citizens, not welcoming foreign influence that compromises public trust. To recap, Eric Swalwell's acceptance of these funds isn't just a headline. It's yet another sign of political mismanagement and foreign influence seeping into our governance. If you're tired of paying for their mistakes, hit subscribe. I'm John, signing off from today's economic news. Keep questioning, keep demanding accountability, and we'll see you next time.